Hey there guys, I'm Kevin. Welcome back. It's day 3 of choosing your ukulele strum. And you may notice we're in a little different setting here, a little bit different view. We've moved out to the porch from the normal location as a little safety precaution for the baby. So I hope you guys like it. Put some pillows here so it's nice and comfy, and we'll get settled in and talk about the 2/4 time signature. So you may have seen this time signature pop up in songs that are in the country, Americana, folk, sometimes a march, and a lot of children's songs actually have the 2/4 time signature. So today we're going to talk about strumming patterns that you can use in this time signature. I'll give you guys a few song examples, and we'll do a little play along so that you guys can really feel what this time signature is all about. So get tuned up. Put a smile on your face, and let's get ready to talk about choosing the right strumming pattern for the 2/4 time signature. All right, so we talked a little bit about the 4/4 time signature in the first day, and the 2/4 and 4/4 are very similar. So the only difference here is in how many times we say one and. So in the 2/4 time signature, rather than going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're just going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Now you've probably felt this before if you've listened to country music. Some examples would be Ring of Fire, Walk the Line, Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash, which are actually in 4/4 time. But if you listen to certain instruments like the bass and drums, they feel like they're in a 2/4 time signature. Let's just try this together, a little counting exercise, just me and you here with a muted strum. I just want you to feel this 1 and 2 and. So here we go, and I'll just count in 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So not much different than 4/4. It's more about the phrasing than it is about a difference in feel. So a couple of different strumming patterns that you can use in this time signature. Now, pattern number 1, we could just use down, up, down, up. So if I were just holding a C chord here, I could count 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. I switched to an F chord on you there, but 1 and 2 and you could just use for down, up, down, up. The second pattern that I think would be pretty cool to use in this time signature would be down, down, up. Now this one is great because I feel like this is one of the best ones to use for country music. So if you're trying to learn some country songs on your uke, this is a great pattern you can use, and I'll show you how to count it right now. So the pattern would be down, down, up. Now always, I'm going to keep reminding you of this, you always want to be going down and up every time you strum, but you're ghosting that first up strum. So I'm going down, ghost strum, down, up. So the way that I would count the down, down, up pattern is 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So for those of you who have done the island strum, down, down, up, down, up, this is just the first half of that. So if you want to equate the 4/4 and 2/4 to kind of give yourself a visual of that, this is just the first half of that strumming pattern. So try that with any country song, and I'll do a little play along here example of that strumming pattern with a song that you guys have probably heard before, and we'll get into that a little bit later. The third strumming pattern that you can use in this 2/4 time signature is down, up, mute, up. So this one, I know you used before. I used it in an earlier video for Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is one of the first songs I always teach, and that just sounds like this. So again, with a C chord, it's down, up, mute, up. So you could either do the mute with your fretting hand, or you could actually clap the ukulele and go down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up. So again, the counting for this one would be 1 and 1 and So the feel of those is all slightly different. But again, all you're doing when you're creating a strumming pattern in 2/4 is you're taking down, up, and you could make up your own patterns with this by omitting a down strum or an up strum anywhere in that sequence of down, up, and kind of make a different feel. So those are the 3 strumming patterns that I would suggest using in the 2/4 time signature. It may vary depending on which song you're choosing. You know, if you're in the country genre, going with the down, up is a very safe one. A lot of the old country music, if you listen to, and I'll give some song examples in some YouTube links here in the description for you guys to check out too, so you can do some listening exercises and really see what these feel like, in addition to the play-alongs we'll do here today. So let's check out a song here using a down, up strumming pattern, and we'll put that together so that you guys can really play and feel this pattern with a 2/4 time signature. All right, let's get into a song example now. And this was maybe it's a one-hit wonder. It's a candidate for a one-hit wonder for sure. Gautier's Somebody That I Used to Know. So you've probably heard this song and you didn't know that it was in the 2/4 time signature. But this is a great example of a song that uses this 2/4 feel. Even though it may be noted in 4/4, I'll show you how it feels like 2/4. So the chords that we'll use for this are D minor, which is middle finger on the G string, 2nd fret, ring finger on the C string on the 2nd fret, and index finger on the E string on the 1st fret. And the second chord is C. I'm going to show you a trick here. This is just a little bonus thing for you today here, is when you're moving from D minor to C, you can see, no pun intended, that you have your pinky finger available. So what you can do is, when you switch from D minor to C, is just put your pinky down. And then when you go back, you have all 3 fingers for the D minor available to you. So if you want to just try that exercise before you do this, feel free just to work on moving back and forth between D minor and C. And the other thing I want to mention is, you want to hover your fingers here over the strings in close proximity to the strings. Don't get in the habit of taking your fingers off like this. Try to keep them nice and close to the strings when you're moving between chords. So that's just a little something extra for you guys today, because we're in a new location, so I figured why not give you a couple extra bonus tips. So we're going to do one time through the down, up pattern on each chord. So we'll just go back and forth, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So let's try that nice and slow, and I'm going to count as we go. So again, we're going to start with just a 2 count to get into this, starting on a D minor chord. So just try to feel this out nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 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 one more time. 2 and 1, 2 and... Now let's try that with a little bit more pace, closer to the tempo of the song. 1, 2, 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1. You can really feel that. You can accent that first strum as you go too, with a little bit more of an oomph on that first strum. 1, 2, and 1. So that's an example where the chords are switching every time you're doing the strumming pattern. Now we'll get into another example right here of a Johnny Cash song where the chord stays the same, but you're still going to be counting in that 2/4 feel. So for our second example, we're going to talk about Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues, which is technically in the 4/4 time signature, but I'm going to show you how it could be kind of written in the 2/4 time signature. Now, you guys have probably heard, especially in old school country music, that bass line that sounds like bump, 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 bump. And if you listen to that closely, you could count that as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and bump, 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 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And this is a perfect example of a song that has a 2/4 time signature feel, so you could use the down, down, up strum to kind of convey that feel with your uke. Let's get into this tune here. So the 3 chords that we'll use are G major, and you can see the little diagram below, C, D7, and that's it. All right, so I want you to follow the graphic below and follow the lyrics below, but we're going to be just using the down, down, up strumming pattern throughout this tune, and I'm going to sing this one as we go, so feel free to, I know we're spending a lot of time at home now to let loose a little bit and sing this one with me, but I'm just going to kind of do the first verse just to give you guys an example of the down, down, up pattern over a longer duration over a chord now, just so you can feel that 2/4 feel. So here we go. I'm going to count us in. 1, 2, I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend. Well, I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps traveling on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antone. 1, 2, 1, 2. So there is an example of a song that has the 2/4 feel to it as that bass line is moving. So again, you can count a lot of the 2/4 songs in 4, but it's more about kind of the phrasing of the whole thing. So when you hear that bass line bump, 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 that's a good cue to you that the down, down, up strum pattern will work, or some of the other 2/4 strumming patterns can work as well. If you can think of some other songs that use this time signature, please share them in the comments below. I know you guys did that for the last video, which was awesome. I'm getting a lot of good recommendations because I'm not all-knowing by any means, and I know you guys have lots of information, so feel free to share in the comments or any other insight that you guys have about the 2/4 time signature. I would love to hear from you. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, leave some comments below, hit that alert bell. We're going to be doing a lot more video content now that we are in coronavirus quarantine, so look out for more songs, more series, and again, we're launching a new website March 25th. The new allforyouke.com drops, a whole new reface, more stuff for you guys, tons of new features, and more PDFs. A lot of the same good stuff you had before, but we're just going to try to raise the game a little bit. So, my name's Kevin. I thank you so much for watching today, and stay safe, everybody. I'll see you next time.